Alright, we are finally at Eastern Creek Speedway for the opening night of this brand new facility. I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but you'll see plenty of other footage that this place is just incredible. The weather, which we've been waiting on to be good, it's finally come good. Still a few clouds around, but it is so hot and actually really muggy right now. But it should be a great night of racing. It's nice to not have to travel interstate or hours away to go to a race anymore. Because now we have this brand new awesome facility right here at Eastern Creek, which is only 20 minutes from where I live. Predictions tonight, I gotta be honest, we got probably the best track prep guy, John Kelly here, best guy in Australia to prep a brand new facility, so I'm hoping that it'll hold up really well. With the rain we've had recently, sometimes they seal the track over, and that means it's really hard come race night, but I'm sure he would have done a good job. Really, there's lots of unknowns as far as who's going to win. My money's on Lockie McHugh. When I lay out in my mind who's going to run well, there's a few factors: who's had the most laps, when have they been, who's running well, and who can adapt to tracks. And that's someone like Lockie McHugh. I'm sure Jamie Veal will be up there, and of course Robbie Farr. But either way, should be a good night of racing. I'm going to get heaps of interviews and hopefully onboard footage of lots of different drivers and teams and just people within the sport. So yeah, enjoy the video.
So many people approached us and said, well, we built this.
The reason for that is when the drivers come off the track, you have two options of going this way or straight ahead.
So back in December, mid-December, we had the chance to have two practice. and knowing them over the years. So they've got their procedures on what they need to do. As much as I've just said what I said, the ambulance is on there. That's out.
We just had a wreck in hot laps or / qualifying, and that's brought down the fence a little bit, so we've had a few delays as far as the night's proceedings. They've actually ended up having a driver's briefing, and they cancelled I think the second round of sprint car heats, so that means that the show is going to be a little bit shorter. Format's a little bit different. They're now taking the fastest time that makes it through the heat, and also the heat winner. So those two will go in the dash. A little bit different format from the 2 heat format that they planned to have, but unfortunately with the delays and tearing down the fence, yeah, that's just what we've got. So let's go grab some drivers' thoughts after their first time on the track at speed. What did you think of your first run?
Pooed my pants at one point.
Yeah?
But no, it was good. It's fast, that's for sure. Takes some getting used to, obviously, being from Archerfield. You give it the big flick to get into a corner, that doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Heat race will be interesting, off the front row there, so
Yeah.
I think it's all about getting the start. I think Dirty Air is probably going to be pretty big here, so see how we go, in front of the heat, so hopefully we can transfer to the dash and make it a pretty easy night.
Any car changes or what?
No, we're pretty comfortable, I think. Probably a bit snug, but obviously the heat race will probably be a lot better. So we'll just leave it as is and we'll see how we go.
So getting set for the opening heat.
Track's good. Didn't time as good as what I wanted, but yeah, we'll see how we go in the heat, trying to make it to the main.
You were here for practice night. What was it like in comparison?
I only drove the midget on the practice night actually, so first time out of the sprint car tonight, but yeah, it's good, fast.
How'd you feel after your first run?
Yeah, not too bad. Car was a bit tight, but because of the speed of the track, I could work with it, drive around it, so did good. The track was fast.
Where'd you end up?
First in my group, but overall 6th in the heat, so in the middle.
Yeah, we were pretty decent. The motor was a little bit flat, so probably cost us a little bit of time, but love the track. It's pretty cool. It's nice and fast, and hopefully it widens out a little bit and get some good racing going.
Everyone says it feels fast. Why is that?
I don't know, them walls coming up on you pretty quick, so I wouldn't have a clue, mate, but it feels super fast.
Not really much of a comparison to Parramatta.
Oh, I can't compare them at all, mate. Nah, it's a different beast of its own out here.
Yeah. Oh, so where will you be out of fourth in your?
We should be on pole. I think they invert 4 in the heat, so works out alright for us. Yeah, win that. Hopefully get in the dash somehow.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Where'd you end up?
We were fastest in our group.
Yeah. So you'll be out of 4 in your heat.
We're actually out of 6 because I think they've changed the format. I think they're only doing 1 heat, I've heard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were quickest in our group when that went out. Yeah.
Need to move forward.
Sorry?
Need to move forward.
Yeah, it'd be good if we can go forward. I think they might be only taking 4, so if we can pick 2 spots off, it would be good.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
How'd you go?
Yeah, I felt okay. My motor just wasn't running right, but we found a cracked spark plug, so we'll go out for a heat and it should be better.
You were saying that the gearing didn't feel 100% or something.
Yeah, it was that plug.
Yeah.
It wasn't running right, so yeah.
What do you think of the track so far?
To be honest, I didn't even think about the track or the car. I was just so worried about like the motor not running right, but it's a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be, but it's real wide, so hopefully it slickens off and can get some wide racetrack.
How'd you run?
We went quickest in our heat, so yeah, they changed it to 1 heat all-star format, so we started out of 4 in this heat and we just had to run top 4 to make it into the dash, so yeah, see how it goes from here.
What do you think in particular of the track? Everyone says it's a nice facility, of course, but what do you think of the track in comparison? You've done a lot of racing the last 12 months or so.
Yeah, I think the track's definitely got the potential to be really good. It's obviously at the moment a bit narrow still, so probably will be hard to pass in the heats, but if it can widen up even to 3/4, it's quite wide, so even if it goes 3/4 the way up the track sort of slick, I think it should be really good racing, so hopefully we can see something like that tonight.
feel?
Yeah, pretty good. So we're in the first heat out there, so yeah, didn't know what to expect, but everything feels pretty good. Like the track's pretty racy. We wanted to widen up a little bit more, but all in all, for the first night out, really good. So yeah, ran second in the heat, straight in the show. We should be in the dash actually. So far so good.
You've been racing for a few years. I'm keen to hear what you think of the track, because you've raced at a few different tracks over the years. What do you like the shape and everything?
Yeah, like it looks very promising. I mean, the facility is just awesome. The shape of the track's, yeah, pretty good. Like I said, we just wanted to widen out a little bit more, but I'm sure that'll happen over the coming races and, you know, get on the fence. But it's got huge potential, yeah.
We lost the right front torsion bar and arm, come off, so we had no right front suspension, and the car was just peeling out on me, so that got me, I just lost a bit of straightaway fighting that, and then so I just tried to change my line a bit. Once I figured something was wrong, just try and not bend the car and keep it straight, and and then I think Ian probably made lost a bit of momentum down the back straight, and that let us reverse what happened. So happy to finish the race, with 3 corners of suspension and take the win and put us in the dash.
You ever want a heat race with 3 quarters of the suspension?
Yeah, look, if you're going to lose one, probably right front's the one to lose. You're not going to do it without if there's something in the rear, you're done. So we'll take it, mate. It's obviously you're not lifting too much here, so you keep it off that right front corner a bit. But it was just peeling the car right out of the right side, which is taking the right rear with it and everything. So once I just didn't let it do that and slowed the steering down a little bit, we got a little bit smoother, and that got us back in the race.
You've raced for a few years now. What do you think of the track with all your experience?
I think, also facility. I think, obviously the weather hasn't been ideal lead up to this, so it was always going to be put a bunch of cars on it, see what you got, and that'll give John something to work with moving forward. But he obviously had a lot of weather there early in the week, so it's choppy fast and flat. It's quite a handful. It's easy to lose the front and stuff, so it'll more race cars on it, the more we might just widen it out a little bit and maybe get into a bit of smooth stuff.
How'd you go in the heat race?
Pretty good. Got from 4th to 3rd. Got around the outside of Scorgy there, and we sort of raced pretty well wheel to wheel, and then we got clear. And yeah, it was pretty rough out there, but we get to the lap cars, it was kind of hard to move around, but yeah, it's still good fun.
Where do you expect to be out of for the feature?
I think from what they said that we should be in the dash, because we were biggest in our group, so if that's how it works, we should be in the dash, and we'll see where we go from there.
Well, got a bit of work to do?
Yeah, hopefully.
Have fun, mate.
Thank you.
How was that, man?
It's pretty rough out there, eh?
Yeah,
but
everyone's saying the same thing.
Yeah, I almost thought I was too tight at one point, but there's a patch off turn 2 where if you didn't get it right, you'd hang loose. So I don't think we were too tight. I think it's just so rough and so many ruts.
Yeah.
And I think if you went above it, you'd end up in the fluffy shit and wash out.
Yeah.
But if you went below it, there was still ruts below it as well. So you just had the muscle through it, really.
Awesome facility, but what do you think of the potential of the shape and the banking of the track?
Yeah, look, it's definitely going to produce some good racing. It's going to get better and better, I think. Like, it is wide, and if we actually get up there, it'd be nice, but I can't see it getting there anytime soon,
just getting used to the new track. We're kind of getting better every time we go out there, but it's just going to be laps.
What do you think of the track?
I like it. Yeah, it's bad. The wing's down pretty hard.
Everyone says it's fast, and like right now it's a bit rough.
Yeah, you can feel the ruts in 1 and 2. 3 and 4's not too bad, but yeah, 1 and 2. I was just telling Dad that I thought it was our car. I could feel every hole out there.
Yeah.
But
how have you been going? Like where have you been finishing?
Not too. I finished second then, so that puts us in the A main. I think I just missed out on the dash, but we'll see how the A main. Get some more laps under our belt. Yeah.
Off 6 in the B, so not what we want to be, but it's a massive wake-up call. Being away for 3.5 years, and you just think you can get back in. Well, it's not the case. So I'm not the world's fittest bloke, but you just need to spend seat time, and that gets you through. So hopefully we can just get through this and see how we go and come back in 2 weeks. Yo!
Max Dumsney, what do you think of the new Eastern Creek Speedway?
It's pretty cool. It's racing pretty well and enjoying it, and the facility's fantastic.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
And were you here for the practice night?
That resolved.
It came down practice night.
What's it like in
comparison? Thanks to Ben and Corey and the guys, and just thanks to
track's a lot more consistent. It was a bit patchy on the practice nights, but the track's fairly consistent and very fast.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The pole sitter for the
you're going to make it out to Eastern Creek Speedway?
Eastern Creek Speedway.
You definitely wanted to, maybe have your last few years running Eastern Creek?
Yeah, well,
now for those people here at the venue,
thinking about quitting, but not yet.
We've got a little bit of an intermission now ahead of the C main. The D main's been cancelled. The grade has just gone out. That's why we're having the intermission. I've been running around like crazy with 2 GoPros. Honestly, sometimes I can't remember whose car I put it on, but it's been a pretty hectic night. I'm here on my own tonight. Usually I've got my mate Matt helping me, but either way, having a lot of fun. They've had to cancel the D main. There's 2 dashes. They've drawn for that. Got a few words from drivers. It's a packed crowd. I just saw on the net that it's been sold out. So it's exactly what we wanted. The drivers are saying that the track's a little bit rough. The reason that they're saying it's a little bit rough is that I think it's because we haven't had a lot of racing on it, and because of all the rain that we've had recently, the water's gotten into the track and it's not really settled. So when the cars have gone out and kind of manipulated the track and moved it and shaped it, now we've got these divots and holes and ruts and things like that. So that's why the grade has gone out now. Do a little bit of track prep. It was kind of expected, when you've got a new track and we haven't had some racing on it for ever, other than a couple of practice shows about 10 weeks ago. So that's nothing new. If you're a regular Speedway fan, you might expect something like that, or at least a driver or a team would. I'd say some of the 7,000 people here tonight wouldn't expect that, so they're probably like, what's going on? But either way, the heat racing was pretty good. I saw a pretty good heat with Robbie Farr and Ian Madsen, where Robbie was leading, Ian got by, Robbie got back in the lead, and we got some words from Robbie as well about that. But either way, good night of racing so far, and I'm looking forward to the C, the B, the dashes, and hopefully the track opens up a little bit and we can see some really good racing for the feature.
So we tried a couple of things and always gave me a really good car. So we're going to get a good starting spot for the feature, starting 5th. So 35 laps, it's pretty hard work out there, a few bumps and whatnot to try and avoid and see what happens at the end.
I've been asking everyone what they think of the track. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not too bad. First night out, he's done a pretty good job. Really rip a crowd here, so that's really good for the sport in general. So well done to everyone involved.
How's that B-main, man?
Knocked the front wing down and there's so much grip at the bottom. Like it's been flooded there for a week, so pretty much was driving on the bottom and a bit slick going off the top.
The track's starting to open up a bit though.
Yeah, it is good. It just sucks. I think that bottom's going to be like that most of the race. It's just constant heavy grip under the bottom really. So that's all I have to say about that. Hopefully we're going to listen to car up though and run around the bottom, but I don't know if I just want to tie it up and run the top, so we're just going to try something and start on the back and see where we go.
Alright, we've had the C main, we've had the dashes 1 and 2. Ian Madsen won the first dash over Lockie McHugh. Ian Madsen I think looks really good, but Lockie McHugh just looks really hungry, and right now my money's on him. Let's see if I'm right. Grant Anderson won the second dash. He looks pretty good over Veal, so those guys, I think Robbie Farr finished 3rd in that. So yeah, plenty of guys there. Brock Hallett, Marcus Dumsney, Benny Atkinson, a bunch of others that are all in contention, Jackson Delamont. But I think it's going to be those first couple, maybe Robbie Farr, that are going to be there on the podium at the end. But like I said, my money's on Lockie McHugh. We've just had the B main as well, which Corbett won that. That was a great race, and you can see the track is actually starting to widen up. We saw plenty of slide jobs in that. Guys running the bottom, running the top, and a really good battle for the lead. So it just means that we've got a good opportunity for the A main with 24 cars and you know, obviously a lot of laps, 30 laps I think in the feature races. That we've got a lot of potential for the track to widen up even more and plenty of good racing. So really excited to see that. Let's check it out. On the infield for the feature, there's still looks like, I think they've cut down the laps. It's about 15 laps to go. It says only a couple laps to go. It said 22, but we've just had another caution. There's plenty of cautions, plenty of wrecks. Just behind me over here looks like a bit of a junkyard. We've got 4 or 5 cars. Turns out my GoPros were bad luck tonight. I had one on Sam Walsh and I don't think he did a lap. I had one on Troy Little and he's out on the infield here waiting too. Unfortunately, it's not like Parramatta where if you had a problem you could just roll off the edge of the track and go back to the pits. Here, if you have a problem, you're only between 2 walls. So bit of a late night. I think it's about 11:30 right now. Still got 15 laps left. I guess that's why they cut laps. But Veal's leading over McHugh and Robbie Farr. I think they were my picks earlier on in the night, but I really feel like McHugh is better in lap traffic over Veal. So if they can stay long enough, go green long enough, and they stay in lap traffic, I really feel like McHugh can win this race.
Not even had a net. Okay. Hello, mate.
Have they declared it or are they doing a fuel stop?
Declared.
Yeah.
They declared it?
Yeah, I just asked. What happened, Troy?
Knocked the ladder out a bit on the back straight there. Front wing collapsed first and I just
rather than end up like one of these boys, take it home in one piece and come back next weekend, try the wingless, and hopefully end up on the Edge Trail. But what a fantastic facility. You've got 7,000 people watching it. What more could we want as sprint car people, you know? So, take our bat and ball and try again.
I can't help but think that if you guys had stayed in traffic, you would have had a shot.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he was probably, I think we had the same pace as him in clean air, but it's sort of hard on a track like this to sort of get right behind someone and make a move in clean air, so I think it had to be done in lap traffic. And,
did you feel better in traffic?
I could move around quite a bit. I think I tried a lot more different lines than what he was sort of running, but yeah, didn't need that red when I think we were past him there on that back straight, and that red came out, so that was a bit of a blow, but no, cool first night here. I just wish we could have got the last 15 laps or whatever it was, and maybe could have made something happen.
That last restart, you had a bit of a go early on. Was that just because you're in a good spot, or did you really feel like I need to go for it now?
I got a good launch off that restart, and I was right on his bumper coming across the line, so I thought I might as well have a shot at it. Probably didn't go in hard enough to clear him, but yeah, it's such a long way around here, so yeah, it's sort of hard to sort of dive in there and fully clear someone and make it back up.
Yeah.
So, but no, still a fun night.
Alright, it's after 1 o'clock. I'm just leaving now. Just got in my car, I've still got my vest on, I don't know why. But yeah, a great night of racing. Positives were that I think that the track's got a lot of potential. The whole facility, I mean, you'll see it in these interviews with the drivers and teams and stuff. Like, it's just an incredible venue for a speedway. The con tonight, it was a packed house. I mean, that's a positive, but you know, at 11:30 or after 11:30, there was just, the night was dragging on too long, and they had to end up calling the feature race. So that was probably the only negative. I really feel, and you'll see it in the stuff I said earlier, but I really feel like Lockie McHugh could have won that race and would have won that race had it stayed green and gone into traffic. But that's racing. Veal did a great job. Robbie did a good job. Robbie Farr, I've never realised until the last few weeks how consistent he is, and he's always there in the end because he just knows how to drive a sprint car, I guess, and go about his races and his racing. So overall, a good night. So many people still went down to the pits at close to midnight, which was awesome to see. It's just great to have racing back in Sydney, and I love it. It's so good to have a home. It's weird to call this home for a speedway for me, especially when you're walking around and you have no idea where anything is or how it all works, and it's like, no, well, this is yours. This is your local speedway now. So for now, it is 1:10. I'm in my car. The car park's just about empty, and I'm going home.